A coronavirus. It's cured. Yay! We're free. Oh, we've done it. What's that? Cut the music. Cut the music.
What? Huh?
Let's have a look at it again. Russia. Darn it. Oh. So, Russia found a virus. Did they? Because actually, it was only 4 weeks ago that they were in the news for hacking us to try and copy our vaccine.
Yeah.
So when they say that they found the virus, did they find it in like downloaded files from the places they'd hacked? Did it end up going like this?
Hello, Vladimir. It's Sergey. Yeah, man with accent like guy from Star Trek. I've been going through the files we downloaded from the hacked computer at Oxford in England. There's something very promising. They have a folder. It's called The Cure. It's in a bigger folder called iTunes. Let's have a look. It could work.
You might be heading back into work, you're going to be on the tube, and so on, possibly. You're going to have to mask up. We've talked a lot about masks on the show, but I think one of the problems all of us feel is that when you have the mask, you can't see yourself, you can't make any expressions except with the eyes. But I saw this solution on the BBC just today, actually, that there's a mask that's been developed with moving lights to give you some expression on there. And it's a person invented it, and there's a little clip of how it works here, which I think it looks great.
This might be the coolest face mask I've seen. It was created by game developer Tyler Glale, and the lights respond to the sound of your voice.
Because it looks like it might have been developed originally by Al Jolson.
Can you say that? Yeah.
You can say, yeah, you can say
it. The reporter really liked this as well. He thought it was such a great idea. I mean, here's what he had to say about it.
I thought I'd have a go at making this myself, just as.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. You just see something like, oh, well, this must be a piece of pish. I was gonna do a news story about what this guy made, but I thought I'll just do it myself because that's the kind of wanker I am. Now, before I get sued by whoever that reporter dude is, the guy who made it did put it online, the technology behind how he did it and the source code and everything else, because he's a geek like you. You use all Linux and all that shared free software
open
crap.
Source.
Open source. Don't allow Bill Gates to get any more money so that he can microchip our children. Gotta let him do it. Or I'm sure Steve Jobs will come back any day now. But he put it out there, and so Steve and I thought, all right, we'll work on this together, especially with Steve's geek skills primarily driving this. But our mask is different. Not just shows expression like the mask that they made, but this one doesn't just show words. It's a more advanced mask which shows pictures of what you're talking about. You can see it here.
Hi, I'm Eric, and I live in the United Kingdom, where my Prime Minister is Boris Johnson. But I'm originally from America, where my president is Donald Trump.
I want to play the clip from Sky because I think it's amazing.
You're an education secretary who has presided over the biggest fiasco in the history of A-levels, who's caused untold mental anguish to tens of thousands of students. You knew about this for months and you didn't do it. I'm just wondering why you haven't done the honourable thing and resigned.
Ooh, ouch. Wow. Someone had better find the education secretary, because I just witnessed someone getting schooled. Damn! That was such a harsh schooling. Ofsted are going to have to inspect. Damn! If it comes to working out how well you think Gavin Williamson is doing, I'd give him a D-. Sorry, a B. Actually, no, sorry, a C. Maybe an F sharp. It's harder than it looks, this just randomly coming out with stuff. More, I am joined on the line by a Conservative government minister. Thank you very much for being with me.
Hello, Steve.
So, by the looks of things, you're trying to move the responsibility for the algorithm that Ofqual came up with. You are treating them as a scapegoat.
Not at all. We're not making Ofqual a scapegoat. In fact, if there is any blame, it lands squarely on the desk of Public Health England. It's just a shame they can't be here to say sorry now that we've disbanded them.
Wait, that's all very fortunate, isn't it? And I thought you were going to be blaming Public Health England on the dealing with the pandemic.
No, we wouldn't do that. The failings in the handling of the pandemic were the fault of Marks and Spencers, who can't be here to apologise because they're too busy dealing with the cutbacks they're bringing in.
Again, very convenient. And also, it's not Marks and Spencers, it's Marks and Spencer.
Really? They're down to only one Spencer already. Bloody cutbacks.
Is anything your fault?
No. And if it is, we'll blame it on the previous administration.
But the previous administration was the Conservative government.
Bastards. Wouldn't trust them to run a bath.
And that's what we're dealing with. Thank you very much. Right. I wasn't going to talk about the exams again.
Right.
Because we covered it before, and I sat there today thinking, we talked about how bad the algorithm was. This is an algorithm that if you came from a poor background, gave you a worse score. I looked into it, and technically it was an algorithm written on a computer in BASIC, and I think it was just called Working Class Killer 3000. It's a great piece of technology, that. But I decided we've only covered half the story. We were right to say an algorithm churning out that you should get a worse score if you're poor is terrible. But what's replaced it is also terrible. Just letting teachers come up with their predicted grade and saying, well, we better stick to that because anything less is going to get us bad press.
Yeah.
is also going to churn out the wrong results, because effectively you've asked teachers this question. Hello, speaking. Yes, I teach that class. So you'd like me to suggest which grades they would get, thereby implying how well I taught them? Well, settle down. This is about to sound like two Scousers arguing A.
Problem we're going to talk about is, how do you renominate Donald J. Trump for a second term of president of the United States? Now, Steve, I know you're newsy, you follow politics. I don't know how much you follow convention politics, the nomination process.
Not so much. No, I just, skip to the end.
Okay. Well, one of the things you have to do is called the roll call of the states and territories as they put their votes forward to renominate a candidate. And it's always kind of hokey and silly and everything else, but it's also a little bit of kind of kitsch Americana, because they go around to all of the states and territories, and each of them put forward their votes to nominate the president. They did this for the Democrats this week, but then the Republicans did it this week. And we got a little sample of it here. Here's the first one.
I come from the great state of Montana. It's often been called the Big Sky Country, the Treasure State, and the last best place. But currently, we are affectionately calling it Trump-tana.
Oh, sorry. I just had a little bit of a retch there.
Wow. Are they naming that after Trump's tan?
Yeah, exactly. Just his face, just the line on his face. And the other part of it is Idaho. They do that for all the states. It goes on for ages. It's really kind of, it's sort of cute. You got that kitsch going on. Then it gets sort of hokey and makes you want to retch. It goes on for ages. We'll just give you one more quick little sample of all the people you see.
History is made in North Carolina with our first settlements in the late 1580s and as one of the original 13 colonies.
From the state that is known for the best bourbon in the world and the fastest horses, that we are proud to cast all 46 votes for Donald J. Trump.
Woo! Trump 2020! 2024, 2028.
You found your market.
I'm a big fan. I've realized the way to get popular these days is you got to be far left or far right, Steve. Yep. And to be honest, it's much easier to entertain the people on the far right. The bar's lower.
Just jangle your keys in front of them.
Jangle your keys, drink some of that Kentucky whiskey, and go to the place where history was made only about 300 years ago.
Yeah.
Did you catch that? As someone who's, I guess we don't want to talk about British history these days.
No.
But, yeah, that's where history started. But the thing was, Democrats were criticized last week for putting forward this dark vision of America, because America is in a dark place, and you know that if you have vision. But they came forward and they said, we're going to do something different. Even Donald Trump said he was going to change his tune, and this is how he set the week up right here.
Mr. President, great to see you. We've just had the Democrat convention. You're up next week. A lot of the commentary on the Democrats convention was that it was very negative. It was very much attacking
it was dark.
Trump.
It was dark.
Right.
I agree. Well, I think we're going to see something that is going to be very uplifting and positive. That's what I'd like it to be.
Yeah. Okay. So the man whose inauguration speech was called American Carnage, he's saying the Democrats have gone dark. So he has put forward his foot. He's the president of the United States, Steve. He's saying he wants this to be a positive convention. So let's see how that went.
I'm Congressman Matt Gaetz. I'm speaking to you from an auditorium emptier than Joe Biden's daily schedule.
Oh, that's right out of it there.
Yeah, what a zinger.
That's a zinger to an empty audience, which we both know.
Yeah, we know what it's like. It's a joke in an audience. To be fair, he looks like the kind of guy who's never had to develop a sense of humor. He's a good-looking man, and I feel sorry for him. In fact, if you don't mind, because I got the tech in front of me, I might try and help him out and make him feel better about that joke.
Yeah, let's not. Why not?
I'm Congressman Matt Gaetz. I'm speaking to you from an auditorium emptier than Joe Biden's daily schedule.
Take Trump's wife, please. She keeps asking.
That actually helped a lot. And so in that spirit of positivity, though, all right, he tried a joke. It didn't land. You know, going forward from there, let's see some of the samples of positivity that were put forward by the Republicans.
It's a horror film, really. They'll disarm you, empty the prisons, lock you in your home, and invite MS-13 to live next door.
There we go. MS-13 is a gang in America, which the thing is, look, there's obviously you don't want gang members next door, but it would make it much easier to get your drugs.
That's true, yeah.
Because really, with traffic in America, sometimes it's that commute that will kill you.
Over here, that's just a postcode, so it's less threatening.
Yeah, exactly. Kimberly Guilfoyle, she's a girlfriend of the Don Jr., and she's also a major figure in the campaign. Here was her little dose of positivity.
Don't let them kill future generations because they told you and brainwashed you and fed you lies that you weren't good enough.
Ooh, ouch.
Boy, telling me I'm not good enough. I didn't realize that my stepfather had written part of her speech. Okay, fine. What are some of the other things that they're saying that the Democrats are going to do?
They're not satisfied with spreading the chaos and violence into our communities. They want to abolish the suburbs altogether.
Wow.
Now, as somebody who actually lived in an American suburb, I don't think that's a bad thing that she's offering to do, because it is bleak, let me tell you. Now, did you recognize that couple, Steve?
They do seem familiar, but I don't, as you say, I don't follow it every second. So who are they?
Yes, they're these two fuckwits. I think is a technical term. It was these two people.
I remember them.
Who had some people who were trying to get to the mayor's house in St. Louis and lived in their private gated community. And when the protesters came through, they came out in their bare feet like that.
Yeah, he's got a gun that really makes up for the pink shirt that he's wearing. But because I didn't remember at the time, I don't think we talked about this, but I've realised she is James Bond, because not only does that look as small as a wall for PPK, but if you look at her face, not the hair, just the face, that is Daniel Craig.
Oh my God, you're right.
She's got the little pout thing going on.
I'm going to say it. He's let himself go. Now, to be fair, these two actually brought forward a true moment of positivity during their little segment.
America is such a great country that not only do you have the right to own a gun and use it to defend yourself, but thousands of Americans will offer you free advice on how to use it.
That seems like a threat.
That's actually not a bad joke. She didn't even need the bump, bump, bump. And you know what? I've got some ideas about how she could use her guns.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to say. Good. One of the key speakers was Don Jr., the president's son. And here's his flavor of positivity that he brought to the speech.
Anarchists have been flooding our streets. People of faith are under attack, now coming for our freedom of speech. You're not allowed to go to church. Biden also wants to bring in more illegal immigrants to take jobs from American citizens, crush the working man and woman. The worst trade deals in the history of the planet. But mass chaos in the streets gets a pass. He's already talking about shutting the country down again. It's madness. Joe Biden is basically the Loch Ness Monster.
I like that at the end.
That's right. Yeah, and you might say he got a little carried away. He was exaggerating a little bit, but Joe Biden and the Loch Ness Monster are actually the same age. But to bring it home...
Before we move on, he started doing an impression of his dad. Have you noticed? He's doing the, I'm doing a speech, which means even he's got a Trump impression. Yeah. Eric, get with the program. Everyone does a Trump impression, even him.
No, I'm not going to do it. Okay. I'm not going to do it. He just wants to be loved by his father. But the most famous moment of the night, and to be fair, it was done with a level of positivity that you might, before we play this, you may want to turn the sound down a little bit. It's that much positivity. Steve, give us the end of the night.
Ladies and gentlemen, leaders and fighters for freedom and liberty and the American dream, the best is yet to come.
Now remember, she's Don Jr.'s girlfriend. I wonder if she says that when they have sex.
Oh, dearie me. I've got to finish myself off because the best is yet to come.
And to be fair, the best is yet to come, Steve, because one of the other stories I'm going to be talking about tonight is the fact that an asteroid is likely to hit the Earth the day before the election.
Happy times. Well, thank you for kicking tonight's show off in such a positive way. if we imagine that Laura Trump is a sequel to the film Teeth. Did you ever see Teeth?
No.
Do you know what the film Teeth is about?
I'm afraid to ask.
In a world where one woman has teeth where you ordinarily would not have teeth.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
And you should watch it, because I hope... I'm going to ruin it for you now, but I was watching that film, and there's a bit where she realises no one else has teeth there, goes to the doctor, and I think the doctor calls it... he calls it by its Latin name, vagina dentata, and everyone I've ever known who's watched that film suddenly screams, "It means no worries." Trump's been doing, and this was the headline, Melania Trump pulls hand away from Donald as they step off Air Force One. Maybe things aren't going well in that relationship. Maybe it's out of warranty. I don't know what the phrase is. And I've got my other mic for this, because we have the actual video, and then I'm going to use this mic to commentate on it, just because it makes it a bit breathier, like actual sports reporters.
Great.
So I'm going to play the video, and then we'll play it again in slow motion so we can see what's happening. See if you think she pulled her hand away. So here's the video, and they're coming out the plane. What's going on there? And okay, we need to play. Can we play that again in slow motion? You can see that he goes in for what pickpockets would call trying to nick the handbag. She notices this move, panics, goes for wallet, checks for keys, and she's free. He tries to reach for what he's normally known for grabbing, but keeps the wrist to the hip to prevent access. And that is the story of how to do the sex during the coronavirus. And this is the story he sent. Sex and coronavirus, how to have it safely. I guess that's sex, not have coronavirus safely. It's an odd way of phrasing it. But look, it's BBC News. It's Newsbeat for the kids. Again, bit weird. But it's on the BBC website. And that makes sense, because if ever I want anything to do with more interesting sex tips, I always search for BBC. Anyway, and let's go through the article that Keith sent me just to see if we can learn something about... And this is similar to what you did, Eric, ages ago. There was one about how to have sex in New York.
Oh, yeah.
And that was early. That was like episode 9 or something. So finally, the UK has caught up. And this is the Terence Higgins Trust has published advice to avoid kissing, wear a face covering and choose positions that aren't face-to-face. And it says, it may sound tough. It may sound better. You're kidding me, are you? You get out of kissing and you can still watch the telly at the same time. This is good stuff. The article then says, the best sexual partner during a pandemic is yourself. Let me stop you right there. Yeah, it is. Thank you, Terence Higgins Trust. I deserve the credit. Or someone you live with, which means that's going to be bad news for some mums and dads. I knew you should have moved out by now. So that's going to be an awkward conversation that some people are having. Then it goes on to say, masturbation, using sex toys, or participating in phone sex is the safest option. And do you know what? I think phone sex is the good option. And some people might not find it appealing. I think you just have to try more. Like earlier on, I managed to have some phone sex.
Oh, yeah. No, I like it. Yeah. Take it off. Yeah? Take it off. And what else? Take that off too. Yeah. And take that off too. You know, yeah, take it off, yeah. What's that? That leaves me with a plain margarita. Okay, brilliant. I got my card.
It's Wuhan, where it all kicked off. Thousands attend a pool party. This is how lax the restrictions are there. There's a pool party. Now, everyone's like, oh, it's disgraceful. Bear in mind, they've not had a case for months, but also they've not reported a case for months. So we've got the footage of the actual pool party. See how comfortable you'd be. Let's check out issues. In fact, let's watch it now. We can see the social distancing. Look how packed together they are. Look at the people on the stage. This DJ, she's not wearing gloves, no mask. She doesn't have headphones on. I don't know if that helps. And here's my favourite bit. Listen to the guy on the microphone. Would this worry you? Here we go. Might have added that in. But it's so difficult, isn't it? Because in theory, you should be like, it's fine. Technically, there's no... It feels almost like it's a prejudice to panic because it's Wuhan. But at the same time, maybe you shouldn't go to any pool party anywhere. It's a bit like human soup. If you're going to catch something, I mean, In the old days when I was growing up, you go near a pool, you used to have to walk through a Veruca bath. So, and I pronounce it bath, and that is why I'm not getting on at life. But if you received a phone call inviting you to that pool party, I think it might go a bit like this.
Davey Dave, how you doing? Yeah, good times, good times. What can I do you for? Pool party? Yeah, where is it? Wuhan. I think I'm washing my hair. Yeah, sorry. What's that? My hair will get washed at a pool party? Yeah, I suppose it will. All right. Count me in.
Independent watchdog Transport Focus, who say that people are going to be working differently, so the train companies have to sell us different types of tickets. But we're talking about working from home, which means we're going to get conversations like this.
Hello, Trainline Helpline, how can I help?
Hi, yeah, I was looking to renew my season ticket, but I realised it's not really appropriate for where I'll be working in the future, you know?
Okay, where will you be working?
Mainly I'll be working from home.
So you're looking for a train ticket that takes you to your own home?
Yeah.
Well, the good news is, sir, we already do a train ticket like that.
Oh, yeah?
It's called a return.
KFC drops finger-licking good slogan as it doesn't quite fit in the age of COVID-19. And this is an actual picture. They've released this picture of their logo. But the problem is, by blurring it out, it's like bleeping words. It makes you think it must be a swear word underneath it. They should have gone the other way. Why didn't they listen to the emails I've been sending them that said, just change your logo to this? It's finger washing good.
Nice.
And then all of a sudden, you're on the right side of history. I've worked recently with Skittles. Taste the rainbow. We've added an asterisk. And if you look down the bottom for the small print, please wipe the rainbow first. And my favourite brand that I've worked with, because, look, their imagery of their logo caused some problems. And I thought the only thing you can do is change your slogan. So we've gone with Nokia, infecting people. I understand their logic. If you are going to click send when you've finished typing, you don't need a full stop. But then the result should be Generation Z say, oh, I feel like you don't need full stops. Not, oh, I'm intimidated by it. Why bring emotion into it? Because then you get to be the victim of punctuation. And it means at some point, someone at work will have to have a meeting that goes like this.
Well, thank you for coming to this HR meeting. Jonathan, I'm afraid we've had some complaints about your behaviour. Simon, I wonder if you'd like to explain. Sometimes when you talk to me, I find it really aggressive. I'm not aggressive. Oh, he's been mean to me again. What have I done? Thank you. I don't understand. Oh, he's doing it again. Simon, I wonder if you could explain exactly how Jonathan is upsetting you. When you finish sentences, it means you'd be using a full stop, and I just find full stops really triggering. Full stops aren't aggressive, it's just a part of speech. It just did too! No, the one in the middle was a semicolon. I don't really know how you use those. Yeah. You know, I just... Oh! Now what? You abandoned the sentence, and that would be an ellipsis? That's 3 dots. You know, no, I'm sorry, but sentences end. It's not aggressive, it's not shutting you down, it's not attacking you, it's just language, period.
Stuntman proposed to his girlfriend while on fire. If that's what you do, then I guess you really could say, you've kept the spark alive. Always wanted to do one of those sitcom endings. There we go.